Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the bronze final of the Cape Town Sevens. Ireland taking on Fiji. Now, two sides that have had momentum at times throughout their campaign. Ireland doing extremely well right up until the semi-finals, although even so, they were still very close in that contest with Argentina. But for the Irish side, it will be Niall Comerford, Hugo Lennox, Gavin Mullen, Billy Dardis, Che Mullins, Harry McNulty, and Jack Kelly. So a few changes compared to what they have had in some of their other games. They've got Jordan Conroy, Mark Roach, and Terry Kennedy all to come off the bench and add that late impact up against the Fijians. And for Fiji, it is Josefa Talatholo, Filippo Bukayaro, Elikimi Vunaki, Jeremiah Matana, Taria Tamani, Kiminelli Rasaku, and also Manueli Mai-Samoa, the last man in the starting side. So certainly enough potential for the Fijians to go well in this contest. And I'm looking forward to seeing which side actually takes this opportunity to finish their Cape Town Sevens campaign on a high, and which side maybe just isn't quite where they want to be by the time Perth does roll around. But do let me know your score predictions in the comments down below. Of course, so far, Ireland, they managed to pull off 4 wins up against the USA, Great Britain, South Africa, and New Zealand. So 4 very impressive games under their belt, beating South Africa for the first time in 2023-24 season, and also beating New Zealand for the first time ever. Fiji, they lost their opening game to France. They won their next 3, but then they were defeated in the semi-final up against Australia, who have got themselves a final task up against Argentina in only around an hour's time. Josefa Talatholo, the captain of Fiji, he knows that this is an important game because they want to continue that momentum, like I mentioned, heading into Perth, which is about 6 weeks away. It's a long time, but these two sides, they stay ready. They've been looking very strong. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know who's winning this game. It's either going to be one-sided or it's going to be one of the teams that just sneak it in the final moments. But Billy Dardis has been delivered the ball. Oh, she's gone down. She's taken a bit of a tumble. She was trying to run a bit too quick and has ended up falling onto the ground. She gets a high five from Harry McNulty. Now, it's going to be kicked off by the Irish. We are ready to go for this contest, ladies and gentlemen. Billy Dardis, though, looking focused here. They know that this is a big opportunity because there isn't often a time where Ireland play Fiji and are able to win comfortably. See whether or not it will be the case here. Dardis kicks it off high to the far side of the field, and Taria Valawa is there and ready to regather. Good tackle made on him by Niall Comerford, one of the players who I said would be a key throughout this contest, and already the counter-ruck from the Irish is good, using that physicality early on in this fixture. Passing off to the left-hand side. It has gone backwards, so we'll be playing on Harry McNulty. Now going off to Billy Dardis. One more pass out wide for Mullen, who has been a try-scorer machine throughout this competition. Counter-ruck this time from the Fijians. They leave it behind. Accidental offside. Actually kicks it into his own player. Not what he would have been predicting for that ball. I think that was Vunaki who just got it a little bit wrong. They did all the hard work, Fiji, of being able to get that counter-ruck, similar to what Ireland did only about 30 seconds prior. The difference was he kicked the ball forward into one of his teammates, which does, unfortunately, or he actually kicked it into 2 teammates. A little bit of a double whammy for that man. They have now got the early scrum here, Ireland. See whether or not they can get this momentum flowing at this early stage of the match. They've had a big push there off to the right-hand side, but it is knocked on there from Gavin Mullen. Just a little bit too far out in front of him. He looks disappointed. The closer that this game remains, I believe that favours Fiji, because they are the type of side that can pull off the last-minute try, give them momentum, so they won't mind the early mistakes coming from Ireland here. 90 seconds in, Fiji, though, they have got themselves a scrumpy 15 metres out from their own line. Ready to see whether or not they can create an attacking opportunity. The ball has been fed in. Nice, strong push there from the Irish, but it is still on the side of Fiji. Now stepping to the short side, going into touch by Lawa. Has just run out of space. Comerford rips it off him. He wants to go quickly, and as he should. If Vailar was doing up his bootlace, you got the man advantage. Yes, it's probably not considered too ideal, but I think Ireland realise now Vailawa is down. So they want to try and rush this one before he gets his boot back on. Ireland, though, have managed to retain that line out just. Now Mullen going to the right-hand side, passed out wide towards the corner. Great step there, finds the offload up, and Mullen will score it. They'll make it a little bit easier as well on the kicker. To be fair, they didn't go to Vailawa's wing. They went right across the field, but taking the opportunity to go quite quickly. That is his 4th try in Cape Town now for Mullen. No plan of slowing down as of yet. It was actually Mullen and Mullins who were linking up there for the Irish. Managed to get the offload up. They said the simple pop pass. And Mullen knew he was going in for the try. And manages to score it. Drop kick is successful from Billy Dardis. And that will now make the score 7-0 in favour of the Irish. They've been inside of the Fijian half all throughout the first quarter of this contest. Just waiting to see a big run from Tereo Tamani, Kiminelli, Rasaku, Bokiaro. Those 3 have been pivotal in the way that Fiji have been able to play. But it is kicked off by Billy Dardis. Just travels the 10 metres. And it's going to be picked up by Harry McNulty. Shut down pretty early. Niall Comerford, though, manages to go back and regather the ball manually. My son Moore missing the tackle. Now Dardis having a bit of a reshuffle, deciding to go right instead. McNulty luring in defenders. I feel like I've forgotten how to use words at this point of the morning. It is currently 5:15 a.m. though, so that's probably a little bit understandable. Big run forward for Ireland and Hugo Lennox. Comerford just having a bit of a fumble of the ball there. Not able to take it cleanly. Scrumpy now for the Fijians once more. There is still a final just around the corner as well. I should mention, ladies and gentlemen, that will be the match between Argentina and Australia. We will be covering that one on the channel also, so if you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Fiji have not finished 3rd or higher at South Africa's Sevens event since 2018, as a stat that has just popped up on the screen. So a chance for them to really make a big impact in Cape Town. Yes, they aren't in the final, but finishing 3rd would still be, as we found out just then, a very good finish for the Fijians in Cape Town. Now Vailawa passes across now. They've got some good momentum rolling for Kiminelli. Rasaku manages to find the offload away. Vailawa and Maisa Moa ended up in the exact same position. So it does mean that the scrum feed will be in favour of Ireland. 2 minutes remaining in this first half. And it seems like the chemistry's a little bit off for Fiji currently. Whereas Ireland, even though they've had a couple handling errors, they still seem on the same page when it comes to their backline movements. About 30 metres out from the line, though, Dardis will be feeding it into the scrum. I don't know why, but I'm thinking a Harry McNulty try round the corner, possibly. Not sure how he would get a try in this scenario. Definitely with them breaking off the back of the scrum. Mullins charges up to only 15 metres out from the line now. Mullen goes across to McNulty as the second receiver. Now nice stepping from Comerford. Ball still there. Ireland having a majority of the possession. That's a loose ball picked up by Mullins. Looping play now. Out wide, good hands from Mullins, who tries to back his pace on the outside. Stolen by Vailawa, who's been picked up and slammed to the turf only 5 metres out from his line by Jack Kelly, who now gets him down. Only a couple metres out. Fiji inside of their own in-goal area, but the rush defence from Ireland might end up costing them. McNulty now having a backtrack. Manually, my son Moore running down the wing, and he has almost broken through Lennox's tackle, who slams him to the ground. It's aggressive here. The ball's been thrown away. I think that was by Funaki. That was really not smart, and he is going to be going to the bin now for 10 minutes. Something you cannot afford to do is lose your head. Now, he is a player who hasn't had a huge amount of game time, and seeing that, coaches probably won't give him a lot more. He's going to go and make silly decisions. But Ireland now will be playing with a man advantage. He kicked the ball out of the hands of the Irish player to stop the quick throw. Now, 20 seconds remaining in this first half. Ireland again have another opportunity. Like let's say an Ireland going for that scrum as they normally would. In the scenario, going to the left-hand side. Nice wide cut-out pass. Here come the Irish. Mullen goes off to Mullins, who has knocked the ball on this time. And I believe we've still got time for one more line-out or scrum before the end of this first half. Fiji will go for the scrum. They are only going to be about 22 metres out from their own line, so not a lot of space to work with. But Mullins not able to hold it out wide. Tried to regather, but it was just out of the fingertip reach for the winger. 22 metres from their line, though Fiji still have potential of being able to bring this back to 7 apiece going into the second half. Filippo Bucchiaro about to feed the ball in to the scrum. And it's come forward actually in there from Fiji. So the mistake is made. That is going to be half-time. Ireland leading 7 points to 0. So probably one of the lowest scoring games that we have seen in recent times. But it does mean that it's going to be very close throughout the second half. Still 7 minutes remaining. Still give the advantage to Ireland, mainly because they have got the man advantage for the first minute or so of the second half. Fiji, when they've been on attack, have looked dangerous. We just haven't really seen it enough to be able to fully judge what they're going to do. They haven't scored a try. They haven't visited the opposition 22. They've made 3 errors. Ireland have made 4, but the difference is Ireland have had more than double the carries than Fiji. And they've visited the opposition 22 4 times. So to Fiji's credit, they've only conceded 1 try, even though all the game has been played inside of their half. 5 missed tackles from Fiji, making the 7 though alongside it. They managed to get 3 turnovers, Ireland managing to get the 4. So statistically, the advantage is in favour of Ireland. But on the scoreboard, the advantage, it is to Ireland, but it's not by as much as I'm sure they'd want to have going into a second half up against the Flying Fijians. I should mention it in an hour's time, ladies and gentlemen. The match will be taking place between Argentina and Australia. That is the Sevens final in Cape Town. We will be covering that live on the channel. So be sure to check that out. That will be quite an intriguing game because Australia, they've had some good moments throughout the Sevens competition. They did lose to New Zealand by 30 points, but other than that, they have beaten South Africa. They have beaten Fiji. So 2 massive sides on the circuit. And then Argentina, consistently strong. They were defeated by Fiji, but managing to get themselves a couple good wins up against the Canadians and then up against the Irish in their semi-final. The women's final, about 22 minutes away by the looks of it, between Australia and France, and then the men's final. Australia in there as well. There's a chance that Aussie could do the double in Cape Town, and that would be pretty impressive for the men, mainly because they actually last year finished 10th in the Cape Town Sevens, so they've made a drastic improvement. They pretty much swapped with Samoa, who finished 12th this year compared to the defending champions that they were for 2022. That is going to be a loose ball. Ireland knocking it backwards. Still going to be available for them. I believe that was close to going forward, but it is going to be play on. Talatholo gets his hands on the ball, as he always seems to be able to. He's got extremely long arms, uses it to his advantage, and also takes the quick tap now for the Fijians. Felipe Saturanga now on the field, goes off to Kimaneli Risaku. Waiting for that passing option of Talafolo. He's lured in 4 defenders, but over the ball, Ireland win the penalty. Risaku, he did all the hard work, but just couldn't quite get that next pass that he needed to be able to actually use the space that he created to their advantage. Now ball on the inside. It's gone backwards, they say. So it is back to the Irish now. Mullins going off to McNulty, passing out wider to Comerford. Does have Hugo Lennox with him on the outside, but instead decides to take contact of Satoranga, who's been able to strip that ball away. Talatholo going for the bounce pass, and it's worked out for the Fijians. Another pass up from Bucchiaro. Manueli My Samoa breaks through one tackle, trying to step around this whole Irish side. He has run out of space. He's been tip tackled. That probably should be an advantage to the Fijians. They will now carve up to the right-hand side. Bucchiaro going back to Jeremiah Matana, dragged down by his jersey. But Saturanga gets the pass on the outside. A little bit of a slip from Kimaneli Risaku. He's trying his best to fend off McNulty, but he's been driven backwards. Counter ruck from Ireland. They say that the turnover is good. Now Dardis goes off to the left-hand side. Terry Kennedy won't be too far away from making his way onto the field. Another knock on this time from the Irish. Fiji with the counter-attack. Just back and forth at the moment in Cape Town. Nice attack and run from Talatholo. Goes with the American football style pass. Off to the side. Can Fiji win, mate? They are very close to scoring their first try. It will be Filippo Bucayaro who does so. So the answer is yes, they've got potential of being able to go on and win this contest. To be honest, it's still either sides to be able to take. But Bucayaro scores his 6th try in Cape Town and his 9th of the 2023 season. And hi Irish, thanks for covering the game. Says Gus, no worries at all. We have still got Argentina versus Australia just around the corner as well. It's going to be kicking off at 6:20 a.m. New Zealand time. I feel like my face is starting to show that I've done 2 all-nighters in a row doing the sevens, but it's about 6 weeks till the next competition, so we should almost catch up on sleep by then. That kick has gone over 7-all now between these two sides. A quick answer from Fiji in the second half. Still 4 minutes remaining here. And it does look like Ireland are making a few changes to see. Jordan Conroy has made his way onto the field. I believe another change is Terry Kennedy has now made his way on. Maybe that was the tactic, try and wear down this Fijian side so that you can go out there in the second half and really start to make an impact with some quick players like Terry Kennedy. Finds his offload away to Dardis. Now McNulty. He's been a solid foundational member, although he's knocked that ball on for Ireland. Now Nodovalo goes across to Bucayaro. Talatholo now has got numbers to the right, but Saturanga straightens with his run. Tackled by Jordan Conroy. Not able to roll out of that breakdown. He was stuck underneath it. Now Muthinothangi takes the quick tap. Didn't start this match, but now comes off the bench as an impact player. Thought about the offload, still just manages to find it to Saturanga. In fact, it's Jeremiah Matana. Now my son Moore going across the Talatholo. 45 metres from the Irish line now for the Fijians. Nadovalo almost managing to pierce his way through. Kick 4 from Talatholo, but just slightly knocked on. He slams the ball into the ground. You can see the frustration on his face. I think the worst thing is he almost ended up getting a yellow card for throwing the ball away. So because it's just a scrum, it is not going to be upgraded. You can see the frustration on Josefa Talatholo's face. Like he was holding back tears, an emotional roller coaster for Fiji throughout this Cape Town Sevens. They want this game so badly to walk away with that victory. But Ireland are up for the task at the moment. It's going to be a close finish. 3 minutes remaining on the clock. Only 2 games to go in Cape Town before the end of the competition. Dardis going back across to Lennox. Terry Kennedy 10 metres out from his line. Mark Roach trying to break through the attempt of Mothinothangi, and he's been able to beat him. Vailawa also fended off. Now this is where I get a little bit concerned because I feel like Fiji at this stage of the match will start to have a bit more aggression and may end up giving away a silly penalty. We've seen it before in the past. Many Moisa Moore trying to go for the counter-ruck on the halfway line. Terry Kennedy now going back across to the right-hand side. Mullen goes to Roach. Moving now 40 out from the Fijian line. Back across. Big cellular dummy from Dardis. Out to Terry Kennedy. Now he has already scored multiple tries throughout this Cape Town Sevens competition. He's running sideways. Now straightens with his run. Finds another offload back to Dardis. They are just patiently waiting for their chance to attack here. Once again, sometimes you got to go backwards to go forwards. Brilliant tackle made by Josefa Talatholo. And the Fijians get themselves the turnover in the breakdown from, I think it was Jeremiah Matana. It was we're on the field. So currently Fiji still about 35 metres out from their own try line. Great commentary. Thanks, mate. Says Enrico. Thank you very much, mate. We are back for the final between Australia and Argentina as well. So be sure to check that one out. I want Fiji to win, says Danston, and come on, Fiji and Ireland have been impressive. Yeah, they've had a very good Cape Town Sevens. I actually, on the podcast, I predicted they would finish top 4. And they've actually lived up to that expectation, which is pretty awesome for them. Vailawa, that has gone into Mothinothangi. Caught Ireland napping a little bit there at line-out time. They weren't ready to contest. It's going to be kicked in behind, waiting for the awkward bounce, and it does not quite set up for him. It's going to be knocked back by Terry Kennedy. They say there was a knock-on first, though, from Vila Nadovalo. And once again, the frustration is on the face of this Fijian side with 45 seconds remaining. If this is a draw, we will be going to golden point time. And it's not the first time Fiji have gone to golden point time throughout their Sevens campaign in Cape Town. It was actually their match-up against France in the quarterfinals that ended up going right down to the wire, 24 apiece. This game only sitting the 7 at this stage. I can't remember what I predicted for this game, but I swear I predicted a low-scoring contest. I could be wrong, but I think I predicted it to be 14 points to 12. Maybe. But I don't think we can quite get there in this one. Now counter-ruck there from Fiji. They win the penalty. Another chance. Vailawa calls for the quick tap. And that is exactly what the Fijians will do now. Their last chance to be able to create some magic in Cape Town before heading to Perth in 6 weeks' time. It's going to be Saturanga now. Passing across to the right-hand side. They have got numbers. Josefa Talatholo. I believe they will have the last attack, and the skipper will have the last laugh. Josefa Talatholo slams the ball down between the posts. He's been working tirelessly throughout this game. You can see how much it means to him. And the Fijians will claim third in the Cape Town Sevens competition. He had 2 men in front of him. Talatholo sold the dummy. He had the benefit of numbers on his right-hand side, which slightly made the Irish defence hesitate. And he breaks straight through the line with the big, long legs. Strides towards the try line and puts it down between the sticks for the Fijians to summarise their Cape Town campaign with a last-minute win. And well done, Fiji. What a great comeback win. And well done, Fiji, says Sean Lee's a great match. Says Peter there. And come on, Fiji, come on. And come on, Ireland, says Tony. And there as well. So 14 points to 7, the end score in this contest, ladies and gentlemen. Fiji get third, Ireland get 4, which, to be fair, is a very good result for the Irish. And I'm sure that they will take a lot out of this, and they'll work on trying to improve more and more as they get throughout this 7th season. Saturanga, a pretty decent game here. He was able to get a couple crucial turnovers in the breakdown, and that physicality of Sevamoth and Othangi. They are just talking to Josefa Talatholo, asking him about those frustrations in the first half. There were quite a few handling errors for the Fijians, so of course they will want to improve on that. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. If you did enjoy this live stream, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We have still got Argentina versus Australia taking place in 50 minutes time, so be sure to stick around for that one. But thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all for the next one.